Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fragrance Fireside Chat. I'm your host, Cody, and with that, let's go ahead and dive right into it. I've got a bunch of videos that are upcoming, and I wanted to make note of what is actually upcoming and on the agenda. The first thing that's on the agenda that, if you want to go ahead and comment on, feel free, but it's a video series with another fellow reviewer, the Frunkinator, and I, where we basically have a compliment off. I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to actually name it, but after I go ahead and film it, then it'll become a little bit more clear. But the whole basis of the video is that Frunkinator and I will basically choose anywhere between 3 and 5 fragrances each, and we will basically choose the fragrances based off of what we think, I guess you could say, people, or more specifically, Becky, will like. Now, as a rule, I'm not going to use anything that I've used in my panty dropper videos or anything like that. I'm still going to just go blindly and choose it. And we're going to see who gets the highest rating for fragrances. It's going to be a pretty interesting video. We're both just going to go head to head, see if who can pick basically the better smelling fragrances to her, for that matter. And then she's going to go ahead and rate each fragrance, and then we're going to tally up the scores, and whoever wins, wins. Man, I hope I win this. I better win this. But it's going to be a pretty fun video, so expect to see that one coming across. The next video that's going to be coming across is another fun concept that I really can't wait to implement, and this is going to be a little bit more reviewer-wide across YouTube. Now, what I've actually come up with is an interesting concept. It's a concept where I basically am challenging reviewers. It's going to be a reviewer or a fragrance league, if you will. The concept is I send out basically 5 samples starting off with 3 reviewers, but overall I'm going to be sending it to like 15. There's going to be 15 reviewers total. But anyways, I send out these 5 samples. They don't know which fragrances they are. I'm going to be choosing fragrances, and what they have to tell is if the fragrance is a niche fragrance or a designer fragrance, and they also have to tell if the fragrance is a cheap fragrance or it's an expensive fragrance. Now, I use the marker of 50 milliliters over $90 is an expensive fragrance. 50 milliliters under $90 is an inexpensive fragrance. So anything that suits those values will determine if you're cheap or expensive, and that's the retail price for the actual fragrance. So basically, in each video, I'm going to have 3 reviewers. They're going to smell each of those 5 fragrances, and they're going to basically, say if it's niche or designer, and then cheap or expensive. And so they will gain points, and I'll review it. They'll basically gain points based off of their responses for it. And the person with the most points, quote unquote, wins. But I'm actually going to have another site up that's also going to keep track of the overall standings and leagues. So I'm basically going to keep cycling through all of the reviewers that are participating in, and at the end of the year, or at the end of the season, I'm probably going to designate that around June-ish, depending on how quick these actually go. Then the winner, it'll basically go into like a playoffs, and the top 6 reviewers will go head to head in 3-3, and then 3-3 for the championships, and then the champion will go ahead and win. Actually, it's looking to shape up to be like a $200+ gift certificate to like Lucky Scent or something like that, so they can purchase a fragrance. Overall, it's going to be kind of fun. I really want to encourage something fun to do rather than something where people are going to be like, oh, I just don't want people to get critical in it. So that's the overall concept. The concept will be a little bit more clear once I have it down on paper, but I've actually already started sending out the samples, and I should have the first video up depending on when the reviewers get through sniffing shortly. So that's the actual second idea, the fragrance league, if you will. Now, I should also mention that I'm also going to be having reviews up one is of this little baby right here, Bleu de Chanel, the Eau de Parfum version. Yep, that's going to be upcoming pretty soon. This is thanks to my lovely girlfriend, Becky, who bought me this duty-free while overseas. So, awesome. God, I love that woman. Now, this next one is another one that's going to be upcoming. I jumped in on a split with a fellow reviewer, Natsuki, or I'm not sure how you pronounce her name on YouTube. But she made a split for, you can't really see it. How about I block out the light? There you go. Dior Homme Parfum. So this is the parfum version of Dior Homme. I really didn't want to go out and buy the full version just because I couldn't find it here, and I didn't want to go overseas and purchase it until I actually smelled it. I'll tell you obviously during the review whether I'm going to buy the whole bottle or not, but either way, that one actually is coming across as well too. And finally, there's the Asterok dog. I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions. So all those videos you should expect coming up pretty soon. I may actually throw in another review as well too, but those are coming. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts are, especially on the Fragrance League and especially on the Fragrance Off. I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are on of it. They're coming. Expect them to actually come through soon. And we'll go by there. Oh yes, one more final thing, and I will be updating my page with more fragrances to sell. All the fragrances that I put up sold out, and I've got a whole bunch more stuff to sell, so that will be up as well. All right? So again, I'm really curious to hear your ideas, so please respond below. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right? Thank you. Take care of yourselves, and everyone, you have a great day.